Hello.
Hello.
Good morning,
Hello.
Wake Up Missoula.
Oh, we got a little extra time to sleep in this morning. That's why we're starting at 8:15. Yeah, I have a lot of stuff to talk about, but first of all, I want to hit hard about summer camps again.
Yep.
Summer camps are this summer, and they're going in from June
16th to the 20th.
June 16th to the 20th.
20th.
Jeez. Okay, I'll just look.
Yeah, so we've got summer camps
There
going
you go.
on.
Here's June
There we
16th
go.
to the 20th, July 17th to the 11th, and July 28th to August 1st. So, as you can see my confusion with the whole thing, you guys can go online to MCAT.org and find out yourself, just like I just did, to save my own butt.
Yep.
Precisely.
Precisely. We have the winner of our Creative Cat Film Contest,
Very nice.
and I'll show that.
Wait.
That's Marshall. He's the winner of our Creative Cat Film Contest.
Nice.
And
He won $365, like month's rent. That's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
or the equivalent of
One fancy feast a day.
Fancy Feast.
Per
Not
year.
sponsoring Fancy Feast, but yeah.
But
Or
you
you can
do
get the
that.
really cheap generic brand.
Just get the generic brand. It's
Like
Yeah.
you like the, you find in the bag on the bottom of the cereal aisle.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
essential every
that's
day.
like that's the
I would say tuna, but tuna's probably more expensive than
Right.
Yeah,
cat
totally.
food.
Totally. But we have a phone interview.
We're gonna have a phone interview today.
Yeah, we have a phone interview
let's do
with
that. We have
a whole bunch of
Sergeant
interviews
Greg
Yeah.
Edmondson.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's
talk
call-
about
let's give
seatbelt
him a
safety.
call.
We'll give him a call. We're gonna call him at 8:15, but
Yeah.
we're gonna have an interview with the band, which is Boys.
Yes,
which
we
is gonna
are.
be the band that's gonna be performing at our show this Saturday.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
24th.
cue that up and get that ready to go for you guys.
We should do the phone interview.
Hi, my name is Brian Marshall. Welcome to Headbangers Ball. We're here with Missoula's very own boys. How are you guys doing today?
Ready to headbang.
Ready to headbang?
More or less,
Good.
yeah.
Well, are you also ready to waltz? It's a ball too.
I didn't know that it was a ball.
It's a ball. It's Headbangers Ball.
Is the song in 3/4?
The song's in 6/8.
Oh, I'm screwed.
So you're just gonna have
Can't
to
do
waltz
that.
a little bit quicker.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you introduce the band? Let's actually. Boys. Is it the boys? Boys.
Just boys.
Boys. Just boys. Okay. Well, let's go left to right and get everybody in the band.
My name is BJ. I play guitar.
What's your favorite color?
I like all colors.
That's a vague answer. Let's move on.
Yes.
Kale, and I play the guitar, and my favorite color is periwinkle.
Well, that's not a question I was trying to do. Okay, we can go
my bad.
with that. We can do it with. What's your favorite song to cover?
Master of Puppets
Master of
by
Puppets.
Metallica. It's not
I was
Crush.
planning that one
And
the
I
whole
heard that,
time,
and I was
you
told that
walked right into it.
You had you were in Puerto Rico and you played the song. You had a rapt audience.
Yes, and they went crazy. Just during the sound check, played a couple of riffs. Really,
Who knew?
really got ourselves out there.
Cool. Big Latin American audience.
They love
I guess
us.
it's not Latin America, is it?
We're huge. Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico's. Anyway, moving on.
My name's Neil, and I play bass.
Cool. So how would you guys describe your sound? Give me kind of a rundown of what Boys sounds like. If I go to a Boys show, what can I expect musically? What can I expect visually? Emotionally, spiritually, sexually.
I would say hopefully you'd shake your butt.
Visually, there would be some butt shaking, yes.
We'd see
Reciprocal
from
butt
you
shaking.
guys.
Yeah,
We're all around.
and around,
And around.
That's really the main goal,
It's butt
Okay.
shaking butts.
for the butts to
What's
move.
to bounce?
Yes.
Right, left, up, down. Every direction.
Be warned, Missoula.
Visually, yes, the butts. Spiritually, you'll feel,
Music magic.
yes, the air is
Thick with magic.
Tingly.
thick with magic.
Thick with magic.
I can hardly breathe.
The music
Just now?
the music is
We're not even
bursting
playing?
with power.
It's bursting with power.
Can you feel it?
I can feel it already. Describe, say that your influences are.
Friends bands.
Pizza, beer, the VFW, this band called Dragons.
So you guys have gone. Have you guys just toured in the Northwest? Just toured around Montana? Just toured?
We
where have
went-
you guys been?
We went all over the globe last year.
Yeah. We know Puerto Rico. We've heard the Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico,
story.
yes.
You're big in Latin America. gain traction?
We're huge
Central America,
in
I
the all ages scene in
Boise, Idaho.
in Boise and in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah.
We have a following of rabid 17-year-olds.
Actually, according to Bandcamp, most of our downloads are from Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Really?
That's like the most
Like local music and indie bands going on. Do you still feel like that's like a viable way of doing music? Still, in the
It's
sense
fun.
that
It's like the Great American Road Trip, but you
Totally.
can play rock and roll.
I think
Yeah.
touring is the only way that people actually care. Like if you can't, I mean, that's the only way to actually make money as a musician. Like nobody buys your CD, they can just download it. But
Right.
if you show up to a show, they'll buy your stuff and
It's
hopefully.
the best, most fun way to get yourself out there.
And where can I find your guys' record? How can I listen to you guys?
Our Bandcamp is thoseboys.bandcamp.com.
www.thoseboys.bandcamp.com. You heard it first on Headbangers Ball.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really hard to have a name, boys. You can't really Google boys.
No, you can't.
No, we are
You can't. We found that
completely
with
ungoogleable.
my band Taste. It's like,
Yeah, you just.
That's a great band name, though.
Thank you very much. I was listening to a lot of Prince when I came up with it.
Awesome. Prince is great.
Sounds about
Prince
right.
is great.
It is a god.
Yeah. Do you like Blood Orange?
That's what I was just
I
about
like
to say.
Def Hines a lot. I like
Yeah.
Def Hines a lot.
Dude, is
You don't like Blood Orange? You do?
Oh, he's
no.
a serious
Yeah.
groover. I'm obsessed.
Yeah. He's super talented.
Yeah.
He's super talented. I like what he did with Solange Knowles too.
What, I've never
I just
heard
like
that.
Solange Knowles
It's good
a
stuff.
lot. Yeah,
Never
it's
heard
great.
of stuff with Solange.
She's great.
Dang.
She's we have 2
Did you
minutes.
see the video of Solange beating up Jay-Z?
I did see that video. Let's do an analysis. Here on Headbangers Ball, let's do an analysis of
I didn't know what to think, but poor Jay-Z, I mean, getting attacked by Solange.
I mean, I don't know. It seems like he things in because Beyonce just sat there and like watched it.
Yeah, and then did
I
you
heard
see
their marriage is on the rocks.
Did you see the
Starting to have
poor
songs.
Blue Ivy? Poor Blue Ivy.
Yeah.
Well, growing up in a divided household.
All right,
Hey,
and we're
guys.
back.
Hey,
Yeah.
I was
Morning.
Marshall doing an interview with boys that are going to be performing this Saturday, but tomorrow at the Roxy, you guys are going to be.
That's right.
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
Absolutely.
8 p.m.
We have Britt Jookum and Ariel Gregory here today, and
Good morning, Missoula.
they are puppeteers. And you guys, what is your?
You never hear that.
No,
no one ever
no.
says that out loud
No,
anymore.
ever.
We're puppeteers. We perform under the name Bat Honey.
Awesome.
That's our company name. You can go to our website.
Actually, I have the website pulled up. If you would go to it.
I would love to go to it. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Hey, keep talking. Go ahead.
Yeah. Cool. So, what is Bat Honey?
Bat Honey is kind of we're artists of many talents, and Bat Honey is sort of a venue in our webpage to show the world what we can do.
And how did it start?
How did we come up with a name?
Well, how did you guys start your company? Like, how did you start all of this?
Well, we've been together and creating art for about 12 years, and just about 7 years ago we started doing puppetry.
Cool.
And we call ourselves Bat Honey because I come from a long line of beekeepers.
We get the best honey for Christmas. It's
Cool.
fantastic. It
It's
really
off
is.
the hook. It's true.
Cool.
And it's like a bottle of sunshine.
Yeah.
And we're bat enthusiasts. We love those beady-eyed little monsters. Yes.
Well, when you say like that, they sound scarier. They really are. They do so many things. They're really
But they warm my
fantastic.
heart.
And so, how did you guys come up with the idea of starting to make puppets?
Well, we started as stop motion animators.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what we studied in college. The traditional old frame by frame, not computer. And slowly our sets just got bigger and bigger, and kind of became puppets. I mean, it's two very similar art forms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We started out with our little animation sets about this big, and then they grew and grew until they're about 7 feet wide and 8 feet tall. And
Giving life to inanimate objects.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
What goes into a puppet show?
everything that you can think of. We use all the skills that we have available, that we've learned through the years, and constantly gaming new ones. We custom build all of our sets and our stage and our puppets. We use a variety of different puppet styles, so we're constantly trying to learn new techniques and engage other puppeteers or read books. Everyone remember books?
Yep, yeah.
So it's painting, it's construction, it's engineering, it's textile work. We
And then when you get into the performative aspects, there's vocal training, there's songwriting, there's script writing and editing, storytelling.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot
lot.
of things in
Yeah.
in one, and
I think people really underestimate like how much work you guys do to put this on.
Oh wow.
How long does it take to make a puppet?
well, it depends. Like this guy here probably took about 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then for our children's show, some of our puppets take 6 weeks to build.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Cool. So what materials do you use to make the puppets?
You know, we really try to use wood and metal and kind of withstanding traditional materials and
Things that you don't find before or things that are only existent. Oh man, what am I saying? No plastics is kind of our watchword.
So your
we try to keep
puppets are
them out of
green.
there.
Green.
Authentic kind
We
of
try
materials.
to keep them kind of green, and
Authentic. Yeah, they look really cool.
there's something about materials that what something is built from comes through in its physical presence.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
puppets are all about physical presence.
Let's get a nice close up on.
Oh yeah, let's
Alright.
get our
Yeah.
puppet cam. What characters do you guys have
Yeah.
here?
This is Montgomery Kane. He's the MC of the show. We'll be playing tomorrow night.
I'm coming in. She's coming in. This is Camilla Von Mama. She is also in Camilla Vision. Hello, Missoula. She's gonna be in the show. She has a very, very funny skit.
Cool.
What is the inspiration behind these characters? How did you come up with them?
Well, so this show in particular, Iron World Tate, is about the classical American road trip. And we used to I came from a family of four kids. We always would take these massive car packed, I don't know if anyone remembers those Christmas trips where you're sitting on top of all the luggage because you're the smallest and you're just packed in. So we do draw from our inspiration of our experiences of the classical road trip. Ariel?
Yeah, I mean, we both did that. Just kind of pressed up against the back of the glass with everything packed in there, and the show centers around Tate, who's the father of the family, and sort of the hilarious struggle of the family trying to get him to stop at all of these bizarre roadside attractions. And
I don't know if anyone ever had a dad that wouldn't stop. My father wouldn't.
Yeah.
I had to put it into a puppet show. I never got to see the house that was in Little House on the Prairie. I still think
that's
about
just a
it.
tragedy.
That is because he wouldn't stop.
It's basically going to be like
Because he wouldn't
National
stop,
Lampoon's,
exactly.
Puppet road trip.
There's elements of that, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
So when and where is your show?
The show is tomorrow night. That's May 22nd. That's Thursday at the Roxy. It's going to be at 8 p.m. It costs $10, but it's a feature-length puppet show. It's an hour and a half, and it features over 40 puppets. We're only 2 puppeteers, so it's quite a spectacle to see how we pull the whole thing off.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
is there anything else you'd like to say before we run out of time?
We're just super enthusiastic about this show. It's like nothing you've ever seen before. It's a comedy, so I hope everyone can come out and check it out.
And how can people find more information on you guys?
You can go to our website, which has been up at www.badhoney.com, and you'll find all of our touring information and what we're up to.
Cool. And then that's how they can contact you as well.
Absolutely.
Well,
Great.
there's one more thing we should mention. In the interest of full disclosure, it's youth are welcome at our show, but it's more of an adult show because there's adult themes and some adult language. But everyone is, of course, welcome.
Great.
But you might have to talk to your parents.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
Well,
Well,
All right,
you
thanks.
for joining us.
Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you for joining us.
Yeah.
We'll be
Good luck
right
with your
back
show.
right
Thank
after
you.
this.
We also have Missoula Community Access Television here taping this debate, which will air, I think, on Thursday or something. I would like to start with Harlan. I'm sorry.
I guess I'll listen to them, let them talk a lot, and listen and find the chinks in their ideological armor and try to hit them with my own beliefs and ideas so I can influence their vote over to my cause.
MCAT is putting on a free concert. Come down to Stage 112 and see bands The Hasslers, Boys,
I climbed that spiral staircase. I was riding up, dying. I got
Hunter and the Gatherers, and Comatose Smile. Join us at Stage 112, Saturday the 24th at 10 p.m. to see your favorite bands. You must be 18 and over to attend. And we're back.
Hello. We're back. I've got some events going on for today and tomorrow. So today, 6 p.m. is a Missoula Ride of Silence. This is at the county courthouse, and it's a ride of silence to commemorate bicyclists killed or injured in a crash with a car and to promote safe, legal, and courteous travel in Missoula. You got to arrive to the county courthouse at 6 p.m., and the ride will start at 7, and it'll be a 6.5-mile ride, and you can check out rideofsilence.org for more information on it. Also today, Missoula's Art Museum's Contemporary Collectors Circle will be visiting the home and studio of Montana artist Leslie Van Stavern Miller II. To RSVP, call 728-0447, extension 222. She's been around Montana for a long time, and she's done a lot of really recognizable artworks that, yeah, if you see her art, you definitely know her. Also is a lecture at the Montana Natural History Center. Alex Badiev will present his work on flying squirrels. And I've got a little video of a flying squirrel that someone took in their yard. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then it's going to replay, so I'm just going to show you that again.
Nice.
Yeah. They're pretty sweet. Like, flying squirrels are really cool. And they glide. They don't fly. So that's neat. Yeah. So there'll be a presentation on that. And I do believe it's free. Yeah. So there's jazz at the Top Hat tonight at 7 p.m. That's free. There's trivia at the Press Box at 8:30 and karaoke at the Badlander. So then for Thursday events, we've got Work Smart Wage Negotiation for Women at 9 a.m. This is at Missoula Job Service, and it's free. And it is it's a class for women to negotiate their wages. The median wages for Montana working women are 67% of Montana working men. That means we're in 40th place for equal wage for genders. So this class will teach women how to negotiate their wages and get more money because we deserve it. Also,
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's my feminist plug. And then tomorrow is Bike the Parks Challenge. This is 4 p.m. at McCormick Park. They go over the basics of bike repair and safety while exploring Missoula's trail system. So you can call 721-PARK to register. It's $7, and they can provide bikes to anyone over 5 feet tall. And they don't really recommend, I mean, you can bring your kids, but it's just like a lot of biking, and so I don't know, they might be a little grumpy. Also tomorrow is Native Plant Garden Work and Learn Day. It's at 4 p.m. at Fort Missoula. You'll help weed, plant, and build at the Fort Missoula Native Plant Garden. The topic for this week is gardening for the birds. You'll learn what feature landscapes to put in your yard and what plants to plant so you can have lots of birds.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hoeing.
Oh, yeah. I bet you are. Monster Flicks, Big Fires on the Big Screen. This is at 6:30 at the Wilma Theater tomorrow for $5. This will feature a commentary by renowned global wildland fire historian Dr. Steve Pine on films dealing with large wildland fires of the past. 1933 Tillamook burn in Oregon, 1947 Maine fires, and the 1967 Tasmania fires. So tomorrow night there is trivia at the Holiday Inn, at Bricks and Browns, and the Lucky Strike. There's an open mic night at Sean Kelly's on the Broadway, and there's karaoke at the Dark Horse, and there's music at the Badlander, Sunrise Saloon, Monks, and the Top Hat.
Yeah, a lot of stuff to do tonight.
Yeah, and tomorrow. So those are the events for today and tomorrow.
Sounds great.
Do we have the City Council up next?
Do we have City Council or are we going to Shira Scott?
I can show the from the vault video and we can argue about it.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll be right back right after we show from the vault, and this is community and celebration for the solstice. But here it is.
It's in all cultures. It's been an incredible time of celebration, and it's my intention in the solstice celebration to really create something that's wonderful, that's fun, that's deeply meaningful and impactful.
It's exciting to be coming together and having a collective vision of an event and sharing this event with people.
No matter where I am, no matter where I travel, that my community is in sense the container that I come back to. I want to walk down the street and know who the person is who is walking in front of me or beside me. And I want to always take time to touch them and to ask a question about how they are.
The exploration of rhythm has been something that in the last years has been really exciting because it's something that's underlying everything. That the planet itself has a rhythm. You know, the rhythm of the seasons as we celebrate a solstice is all part of that world rhythm. And to try to tie into the fact that, well, maybe when we sit down and we're drumming or we're sharing something musically together, maybe that's connected in some way to the bigger picture of the whole planet.
It goes on and on till the spirit it's like a mountain, old and strong. It goes on and on till the spirit it's like a mountain.
Yep, and that was the movies. Old school 1993.
That looks pretty
solstice.
fun. Wow.
Summer solstice celebration.
I wish we still had those. That looks like a ton of fun. Yeah.
We might have those. We'll check in the event when we get to it.
Yeah, right.
A month away, right? Isn't it?
I think so, yeah. 21st, yeah.
First day of summer, yeah.
Month, yeah.
Yeah, but we have Shira Scott here. She's here to talk about elections.
I am. Surprise.
So what's going on?
So I'm just going to reiterate a few things that we've already talked about. There's nothing, spectacularly new. The primary election's still coming up on June 3rd, so we're getting ready for that. As everybody knows, registration closed on May 5th. But it doesn't mean that you're too late. You can still register to vote if it's dawned on you that that you haven't, or that you're registered at an address from 10 years ago.
Okay.
You can go out to our elections center out at the fairgrounds, and they're open from 8 to 5 daily, and you can register to vote there. And it makes it really easy, easy. And if you've messed up on your ballot, which happens a lot. There's a lot of tough decisions on there for this election. So
so people have to look at the ballots and just make sure that if people don't fill in the dots the whole way.
Yeah, and most of the time we can catch it. If it's just a little mark, usually our scanners are sophisticated enough that they can catch it. But we do have some individuals, some nonpartisan people who take a look at them, a group of 3 of them, and they determine how you wanted to vote.
That's good.
Yeah. It's good that humans are doing it, not just robots.
Yes.
And the nice thing is that the ballots themselves don't have anybody's names on them or anything like that, so there's no bias on them. It's just the envelope has the person's little name and information on there. But
Exactly. So you get voting credit based on submitting the envelope, and that's how you get. We track that you have voted, but we have no idea who voted.
Anonymity, right?
Yes, exactly.
Total anonymity.
Exactly. And if you find that you have messed up on your ballot and you work an 8 to 5 job, we actually have extended hours.
Oh, good.
So today we're open out there until 7, and next Wednesday we're out there until 7, and then we're working the Saturday before the election.
Yeah.
So we'll be there from about 8 to noon on that day.
Well, I can't think of a better way to have a lunch break than go down to the election office and see you guys.
Well, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, down at the fairgrounds. So they're very helpful. Very helpful out there. And the other thing I wanted to mention is coming up on May 28th, we actually test all that equipment that runs or that tallies the votes, and it's open to the public.
Oh, cool.
So they're starting out at our Records Management Center. It's on Ernest and they start at 9 a.m. It'll probably
So
take a couple
it's kind of like
days.
a mock vote.
A mock vote, yeah.
Mock voting.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
do you guys specifically figure out what you guys are going to be voting on just for the mock vote, or like? I would think that it would be fun having fun with this, where you guys just vote, say, so you want pizza, sandwiches, or or you're not for the regular and then you have this
Batman
long
or
title
Superman.
Yes,
Who do you
yes,
choose?
Absolutely. We actually use real ballots, unofficial ones, of course, that are marked as tests, so they don't really count.
And you guys also release unofficial ballots to other people as well.
We release, everybody gets an official ballot if they're voting in it,
right.
But then we use these sort of test ballots just to make sure everything's going okay before election day, and we're, up at midnight trying to tally votes. And sometimes as you guys know, sometimes things don't quite work the way you want them to.
So once again, when is the primary election day?
June 3rd.
So it's the first Tuesday in June?
It's the first Tuesday.
Okay.
Yep.
Primary elections are always the first Tuesday in June?
Yes.
Right, and then of course election is the first Tuesday in November, right?
Yes. Yeah, and I can't remember exactly the date. I believe it's the 4th or 5th in there is when the general election will be. So if you're having a hard time deciding which ballot to vote, because you only get to vote one, you could get a chance to vote on the candidates in the general election, assuming that they move on.
Yeah.
So.
Very cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Shira.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. We'll be right back.
Some city council.
City council stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
City council stuff.
Why is clean air important to you?
I like to be outside. It's nice to be able to breathe.
My parents are getting very old and they're having a hard time breathing as is.
So I can see the stars at night.
Look at what we have.
Everything needs clean air.
Can you tell me why clean air is important to you?
I need it.
You just flat out feel better when you're breathing clean, fresh air.
So when I breathe in, I don't know, I feel like kind of this sense of like it's in you.
I like to have my lungs filled with clean air rather than a bunch of car exhaust.
If you're not breathing, you're not here.
And would you be willing to pay a penny per gallon of gasoline to save 2,500 lives per year?
I sure would.
All right. Would you give a penny?
I'll give a penny.
Yes, I would. Here you go.
Yes. Would you give a penny to save 2,500 lives per year?
Most definitely.
Absolutely, I would pay a penny more.
Yes.
All right.
I would.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Most certainly.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Would you be willing to pay a penny more?
You bet.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yes, I would, hands down.
And we're back.
Yes.
Yeah. Woo!
Yeah.
City council.
City council.
City council. Yeah. Well, this is a transportation policy coordinating committee, and what issue that they were talking about a lot was the zero fare initiative, which is they want to make all the Mountain Lion buses have zero fare. So let's hear from them.
That sounds like an awesome idea.
Yeah.
So this item kind of goes along with, or you should think about it in the framework of the upcoming tip update, I think. And we have today some representatives from Mountain Lion as well as the university. This is an initiative that has been in discussion for the last, well, I don't know, a long time, I guess, but has come to a head in the last few months. And that is the proposal to have zero fare on Mountain Line. And I know that everyone's been working very hard to round support and financial support for this proposal. And so we have, I think, a little presentation or a letter from the university. Marty Blair is here to speak to this in a little more detail.
All right, so yeah, that's them introducing the zero fare initiative. So let's hear from Marty Blair. He kind of is the spearheader behind this. He got a lot of organizations to partner up and give some money funding towards this initiative. So let's hear from Marty.
I'm with the University of Montana,
and representing a partnership that has come together to support the Zero Fare project, or the Zero Fare concept. I've been in Montana for just under a year, 51 weeks to be exact. I moved here. It's a great place. And I moved from a community that had Zero Fare for a little over 20 years. When I heard in the paper a little over a month ago that the mayor was talking about Zero Fare and that this was something going on in the community, I was pretty excited about it, and was able to gather support from our university administration to go out into the community and gather support from community partners. We have we've got 6 partners that have come together, and that partnership is growing. And I have a letter here. I've submitted it to staff, and I will share a copy of it with you in just a minute, signed by organizations that have raised about $300,000, 2/3 of the money already, towards this initiative. As you know, the bus system is a great benefit to the community. It benefits us in many ways. As a longtime rider of a bus where I came from and a rider of Mountain Line here, I just think it's great for a community. It's great for me. It's been great for my family for lots of reasons. My role at the university is I work at a place called the Rural Institute for Inclusive Communities, or the Rural Institute on Disabilities. My interest is people who are trying to be more independent in their communities, and I certainly saw this, and this is why I was a big supporter where I came from in Logan, Utah, a supporter of the fare-free system, or the Zero Fare system, because it increased independence of people who are trying to make their way, trying to get to and from jobs, to and from stores, etc. That's just one of the benefits. Obviously, there's some efficiency and administrative benefits as well.
Okay, so that's Marty Blair from the Rural Institute of Transportation for Disabilities. So he's kind of giving the rundown as to why this is such a positive thing for people, and it's pretty impressive how he's gotten all these partners on board and raised all this money. So let's hear from Mayor John Engen. He'll weigh in on the subject.
Our executive budget calls for $50,000 in fiscal year 15, which represents about a half of $100,000 a year commitment, I think, for this pilot project. That gets us to a grand total with our partners, and thank you, Marty, very much for your efforts here, of about $400,000 a year to subsidize the service fully, so that we are indeed fare-free. And fundamentally, what we've talked about for years at the City of Missoula, Missoula County, at Mountain Line, and among folks who are interested in public transportation, is how do we increase ridership? And that has been the overriding goal. How do we increase service and ridership? There aren't many silver bullets in the world, but this one is at least bronze, in as much as you flip the switch to fare-free, and you can look at a roughly 40% increase in ridership in our case. We could invest $400,000, I think, all year long in very attractive people standing on street corners suggesting you ride the bus, and not get 40% increase in ridership. I'm not sure what the marketing technique we could find that would get us a 40% increase in ridership. This does it. It is a technique that's used in, I think, sophisticated and progressive cities. I think it matches the timeline for the investment that the community has already made at the ballot box in support of Mountain Line and public transportation. I think this just lets us hit a home run, as it were, and boost ridership in a way that I don't think any other single action would allow us to do.
All right, so that was Mayor John Engen.
So pretty girls on the street corner.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be a bus model. Yeah.
Oh man,
that was pretty funny, huh?
I mean, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. It really is. You gotta give it to
Making the buses unfair. That's what I want.
Making the buses unfair.
I just wanted to have a caption underneath the city council saying making buses unfair.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. 40% ridership increase is a lot.
That's a ton.
They do the 18 and down for kids.
And that's what they need to do this no fare thing. Isn't it a 40% increase?
To do
you got to
in order to do the zero fare.
You got to pay for gas.
If they do zero fare, actually they talk about this, but if they do zero fare, that's what they think is going to happen. Is it's going to increase the ridership by 40%.
That's what I would say. Yeah, I would think that.
I mean, what I would think that would be I have two options, which would be also a good idea. It's not it's not an opinion. Actually, somewhat of an opinion, but I've seen from other cities and other places. Seattle, on the other hand, they have peak hours. So during peak hours, they charge people, and during non-peak hours, you can ride the bus for free.
Okay.
See, that makes sense.
That totally makes sense. And like,
Yeah.
instead of like going fully, I mean, like, I understand, like, we have a small enough town where we can probably do the unfair thing, but also we have a large county.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's like give and take. So I can understand that for in the city stuff, it'd be a great idea for like bus travel, do all that stuff in the city, uptown, all that stuff. But in terms of county, like, it's just another.
How much do the buses go out into the county a lot? I mean, I've seen them down in East Missoula. I've seen that one goes up to the Rattlesnake. Yeah.
I think
I
can't attest to that. We should get a representative from the bus. We've had the general manager from Mountain Line come on to MCAT plenty of times. We'll have him on here and we'll ask him some questions. Maybe brainstorm too.
Yeah, get some more insight in this.
And my other thing, let's see, what was I thinking of?
What were you thinking of this time?
All right, let's move on. I'll think of it.
All right, you sure?
Yeah,
you don't want to weigh in? Okay.
I mean, I don't want any pause.
Yeah, sure. No.
Awkwardness.
So, basically, Marty Blair here, he's going to talk about how this is a 3-year pilot. So, it's a pilot. So they're going to do it for 3 years. That's how long the partnerships have agreed to commit, and they're going to see how it goes. So let's listen to Marty Blair talk about this.
And the partners are committing a year at a time. But we know that this is going to work in 2 communities that I can talk about specifically. Increased ridership. Logan, Utah, they live in, it's Cache County, similar in size to Missoula County. Increased their ridership from 1 million to 2 million just a few years ago. So that's the ridership issue. In terms of money, I know that, well, another ridership issue, Corvallis, Oregon, when they did this, they went fare free. In their first year, they saw an increase of 40% just in their first year. So let me go to the money question, which I know is what you're interested in. It's a demonstration project, and we see this increase in ridership in 3 years. Where the money comes from after that is a question that I think Mountain Line will have to answer. I don't know if that's appropriate to.
But see, this question's answered later on in the meeting.
But I have the answer to that question, like money. Everyone wants to know where they're going to get the money from. Yeah. And like in most city buses, you always see like a huge banner promoting some event, some here.
Yeah, the advertisements. Yeah.
Advertising.
Yeah,
boom, that could solve their problem. Like a lot of times they can get a lot of this dealt with through advertising. And we have plenty of buses, but not too many buses where we have to deal with fares. So we're not too big. So in a way, we can do fare free. We can have unfair bus travel. I like saying that. I'm going to call it unfair bus travel. And
unfair.
We can have that. Then we can have banners and posters on there. Like, it's basically just selling. They would have to like get like a sales rep, and they would have to sell like ad space.
Yeah.
I could see that working out, but
I can see it totally working.
In reality, that's not how it's going to work.
Yeah.
Because I'll show you. It's on here.
All right. What are they going to say?
Let's listen.
So I think I can answer. The city's contribution would come from levied property taxes and statewide distributions. It's part of the general fund budget, which is more than half funded by property taxes. The community partners, it's coming out of whatever budgets they have. So the university, presumably, that's a balance of tuition and state aid and whatever else goes into that budget. Hospitals, it's coming out of patient revenue and reimbursement, things like that. I think the important thing is that all of those organizations see a net benefit to the community and to their particular constituencies of going this way. From the city's perspective, again, I think in terms of our overall goals when it comes to land use and transportation, there isn't anything that we could spend $50,000 on that would do as much to shift mode and reduce single occupancy vehicle trips as investing in this service based on what I've seen so far.
Yeah, and I absolutely, I think going Fairview is fantastic for getting people out of the cars into the bus as much as they can. I've heard concerns with how it's going to be paid for, and then when this project money is used in a 3-year project period, if the partners aren't continuing past a 3-year project, then what happens then? That's all I want to know.
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, so they're still talking about the money. Where's the money going to come from?
Yes.
And where's it going to come from after the 3-year pilot's up? Well, this person has to say is that it will come through performance-driven federal funding. So if the city realizes its full potential and ridership goes up by 40%, the federal government will actually come in and say, wow, this program is really working. We're going to keep funding it. So let's hear about that.
The ridership will probably actually go well beyond the goal of 45% when you include in the improvements that are being made. I think that's pretty conservative. So I think what will happen is we'll find that it's positive for the community, that it benefits everyone, and I think the likelihood of a continued interest from not only the current partners but additional partners in the community will be there. And I think there'll be other resources that we'll look very closely at and that might actually just kind of fall into the lap of Mountain Line. More and more federal funding is becoming performance driven, and when you make significant investments in your community like the community has just done in Mountain Line, your public transit, and you're innovative and progressive with ideas such as fare free, you significantly increase your productivity on the system, and so additional monies may be available through performance driven funding. And then I've also been excited about the Montana Transit Association. I mean, they're working with the legislature every time a legislative cycle comes up to improve the funding for public transit in Montana. And Montana is one of the states that just really does not fund well their public transit system, so I think there's opportunities there. So I think if you look at it globally and holistically, I think there'll be lots of opportunities if we're careful in planning for them during the demonstration project.
Alrighty, so that was a word from the GM of Mountain Lion, but yeah, what do you guys think about zero fare initiative?
I think it'd be pretty sweet, but but like also my number one thought is where are you gonna get the money to do this? Like, how are you gonna pay the bus drivers? How are you gonna pay for their gas?
And then Jason Weiner was explaining that levies, taxpayers, more money being paid from property taxes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but and then aren't they already raising property taxes for like the special safety
district?
Yeah.
Was that passed?
I think that's
I think that's still
voted.
protest.
Still voting. That's still up for elections.
Period.
Yeah.
By primary elections? No, it has to be officially done through the elections, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just feel like they're trying to do all this stuff and it's just raising property taxes on people that already aren't making any money because our economy's bad.
The partnership side of it's interesting because these are big organizations like the public schools, the university.
Yeah.
I think the idea is that if they do have zero fare, it'll kind of generate more money for these bigger organizations.
That's true.
So.
Because
you're right, like it is always
there's a way to do it as well, like for tuition, kind of like since they have their own buses too, they can kind of like even mix and match a lot of the they already have Mountain Lines going through the university, so if they increase traffic through the university based on Mountain Line, I'm not like don't like correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Mountain Line somewhat tied into the bus transportation at the University of Montana?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, but it's something we can look into.
Yeah, we have to definitely look into. We'll try to get the.
I know that I've seen the buses and they look different than the Mountain Lion buses.
Yeah, the U-Dash.
Yeah, U-Dash.
University buses.
And all of those buses are old Mountain Line buses. I think they just retired. But other than that.
Yeah, we should get the GM of Mountain Lion in here.
We are definitely running out of time. Our hours is up. So I just got to say for Wake Up Missoula, I'm Scott Ramf.
I'm Josh Meny.
And I'm Noelle McAvoy. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you Friday.